Hello and welcome everyone to the ROI of Generative AI in Retail webinar. We really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules to join us here today. We have an exciting session prepared for you. We're going to explore how generative AI is not just a buzzword, but actually delivering measurable business value in retail. And this is all based on Google Cloud's latest research and Nissan's real-world client work. If you have any questions during today's session, please drop them in the Q&A and we will get to them at the end of the presentation. Well, I'm Veronica Quinton. I'm your host today, and I'm joined by Shami Ahuja, VP of Client Delivery here at Nissan, and industry expert Balaji Nambi, Group VP at Albertsons. So now we will kick off this session with Shami.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shami Ahuja, and I'm the VP of Client Delivery here at Nissan. I have been working in the industry for about 30 years, of which the last 10 years have been with Nissan, working with various customers from the retail industry. And I'm really excited to share some thoughts and some learnings that we've had so far. So based on what we have been seeing so far, one thing is pretty clear that Gen AI is no longer a future bet, and it's no longer just a buzzword. It's no longer in a state where people are thinking about it. It's driving real results today. And based on some data that we've collected across various retailers, we've found that 66% of the retail leaders have already moved from pilot into production. And what is the most fascinating thing about this is that 89% of the use cases do go live under 6 months, where it clearly goes to show that the speed of adopting this technology and innovation is truly, truly amazing. 87% of the companies in production have reported growth in one form or the other, and we'll go into a little bit of details on how that is coming around. And it has shown amazing results in terms of the productivity. So that speed in which this innovation is being adopted into the market is truly remarkable. In the past, we have seen moving to a new technology from concept to production could take years and years because of, especially in the retail industry, mostly because of the legacy systems and the change management around adoption. With Gen AI, the barrier to entry is much lower with cloud platforms, pre-trained models that are available, and specialized partners that are making it faster to test and scale. And that is why most of the leadership teams feel the urgency that if they don't move now, they do fall into a risk of falling behind. So I see a clear sense of urgency in all that it's not exploratory anymore, and we have to move this into action. So in the current macro conditions that we are living in this market with shrinking margins, higher customer expectations, with our customer base increasing to millennials and the need of speed, Gen AI offers something which is very unique. And what that is around creating, deciding, and operating with unprecedented intelligence and scale. It's reshaping how we value delivery, whether that is optimizing supply chains in real time, generating any hyper-personalized experience, or accelerating product launches. And it's just not about efficiency. It's also about resilience. And that is where the key differentiation is coming in terms of how the retailers are adopting this. Retailers have been through many unpredictable shifts in demand and supply over the last few years. And what Gen AI offers is allowing them to adopt on the fly by predicting the trends earlier, by understanding our customers better, and making these decisions with more context. That agility is now a competitive advantage, and that is what we are seeing as one of the major trends in the industry now. So in terms of what the retailers are seeing is uh, that Gen AI is actually delivering value across the entire value chain, from customer experience to productivity to smarter inventory to better forecasting, and it's not just one area. And the best thing about this innovative technology is that you can start anywhere without really rocking the boat across the ecosystem. That is where we have seen the fastest adoption from our customers' perspective. Uh, for examples, if I have to just quote a few of them, Wayfair has seen a 65% uplift in developer productivity. Uh, and Victoria's Secret is using a visual AI stylist to simulate the in-store experience online. Walmart, another big giant, is applying AI-powered demand forecasting to reduce the stockouts and excess inventory. And this has brought in some real results to them by already seeing the revenue increases by adopting and looking at these technologies. So this is a clear example of starting small, going from pilot to production and seeing real results. So at this point, I would also like to introduce Balaji, who has worked in the retail sector for various years, who can give us better insight on what this industry is facing. Balaji, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Shami. I am excited to be here. My name is Balaji Nambi. I've been working in the retail and the technology industry for many years. Currently, I'm with Albertsons, and I used to work at Walmart prior to this. And before that, I don't want to bore you all, but quite a few years in retail technology and specifically e-commerce. And what's happening with Gen AI is unlike any other wave of innovation I have seen. It's moving faster, it's delivering tangible results, and it is reshaping how we think about customer engagement and operations. Shami, I'd like to add to what you were saying earlier that what's interesting is that these are not no longer moonshot projects. They are targeted, high impact use cases. Leaders are picking areas where AI can move the needle quickly, it is proving value, and then expanding. That's the playbook, that's the model to adopt. Start with something measurable and impactful, and then scale.
That's great insight, Balaji. In terms of like just zoning down a little bit on customer experience and personalization, this is one of the areas which is getting a lot of attention from Gen AI perspective. Uh, we are seeing that at least 57% of retailers using Gen AI do report improved user experience. Victoria's Secret is using, as we talked about, the visual AI stylist to try the products online. At Nisam, we have also worked with one of our customers to boost the ROI by 200% through a next-gen loyalty platform, which is with personalized offers, multi-partner rewards, and seamless omni-channel integration. And that is a live example on how something like customer experience, which is little subjective in nature, can show very visible results using this technology.
Yeah, Shami, personalization is tricky because it's just not about having the right data, it's about using it in a way that feels natural and helpful to the customer. Gen AI makes it possible to do that at scale. It also helps probably in the hyper personalization situation. What do I mean by that? You may have some sort of a local weather or a sports event or something that is happening as well in a specific area, and you could personalize using that data using GenAI pretty quickly and easily. The key is to combine the AI driven insights with a human understanding of your brand's voice and customer value. When that's done well, you see not just higher conversion rates, but also stronger loyalty.
Well said, Balaji. So one of the most asked questions that I have when I meet even people at NISM or any other industry outside is what is going to be the effect of AI and adopting AI on engineers and engineering. And my standard answer to that usually is that AI is here as a support. It helps us to get better. It increases our productivity. It's not here for replacing, because we do want to make sure that AI is not taking over completely, but there is a human touch to it. It's more of a mindset where we are using the technology and this innovation to support and get better, but not replace. And that's a very important differentiation, I think, that we need to move forward with. So there is no fear of adoption. It is more about helping, getting better, and using it in a manner where we can scale about the and automate the usual work that is very manual. We have seen Wayfair adopt this with a 65% productivity lift, and NISM has also seen at least a 50% increase reduction, in operational cost by one of our clients, where they have modernized their OMS system. They have used the GenAI Smart Triage in helping the support teams by auto categorizing the customer queries and delivering the instant context. We have seen the use of Copilot, which has also helped increase in productivity and helped the developers produce better results in shorter amount of time. So that's a very important differentiation to keep in mind. What do you think?
Yeah, and Shami, if I could add a little bit, or rather re-emphasize the point you made, I think Gen AI is not definitely going to replace humans. There is the need for humans. It is more of a need, an assisting kind of a technology that helps with productivity, right? One thing leaders should know is that productivity gains here don't just mean that you're doing the same work faster. They often unlock entirely new capabilities, right? When we say product development, it starts from how well the Jira story is written. Are there humans interfering there to make it better? Are there test scripts that you're writing from the get go, where from the time you start designing, quality becomes a mindset, right? So if your engineering team can use all of these capabilities to deliver feature in weeks instead of months, you can test more ideas, you can respond faster to competitors, and deliver innovations to customers while the opportunity is still hard because time is money, right?
Yeah, so Balaji, that kind of pops a question in my mind. In your opinion, what do you think is the right balance between automating processes with AI, but still keeping the human oversight in place?
Sure. So the best results come from a human in the loop model. AI, it can generate ideas, it can do predictions and automations, but humans bring judgment, empathy, and brand understanding, like I said before. For example, AI can recommend promotions based on data, but humans can decide if it aligns with the brand's positioning and the customer promises that have been made.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks for giving that point of view.
Welcome.
So inventory and supply chain is something that retailers live and die by. It's an extremely important function in the entire retail ecosystem. It's something that makes or breaks the customer experience and touches various points in the entire retail ecosystem. So Walmart is using AI-powered forecasting to cut stockouts, improve the delivery promises, and reduce any excess inventory on the shelves, which does result in leakage of revenues and health, and then helps to improve the margins and the profitability over there. At NISM, we have also worked on improving forecast accuracy by 25% using AI-driven models, reducing the downtime, and improving and showcasing the delivery accuracy.
On this point, Shami, I like to say that supply chain optimization used to be almost entirely about cost reduction. Now it's equally about customer promise. If you can predict demand accurately and fulfill on time, the customer trust is built. They trust you more, and that trust drives repeat business. GenAI's role here is connecting the data silos, spotting the patterns humans might miss, and recommending the best actions in real time.
Yes, I would agree on that. So just in terms of what we have spoken about so far, we want to make sure that we keep this as an interactive session. So I would encourage you to put in your questions based on what we have talked about so far. But just to paraphrase what we've been talking, the main takeaways is that GenAI is delivering real ROI today based on data, based on our experience. Leaders are seeing results under 6 months. The adoption is much higher. Going from pilot to production is much shorter. And the ones that are getting it right and are aligning technology with business goals, often with some trusted partners to make sure that things move quickly, are seeing definite results very quickly. Those are what we have been mostly talking about with respect to data and our experiences so far. Would love to see some questions from the audience on what we can expand further. But Balaji, I have a question for you. You have been in a leadership role for a really long time and have been looking at this. So when leadership team decides where to start with Gen AI, what factors should weigh the most? Is it ROI potential? Is it customer impact or operational efficiency? Like, how do you make a decision?
I think all three. Ideally, you look for a sweet spot where all three can overlap, Shami. But if I have to pick up something as a starting point, I would say customer impact, right? Projects that clearly improve customer experience often show the ROI quickly, and you can build the momentum internally. Operational efficiency is also as important, and so it comes next or in parallel. It frees up resources to invest in more transformative initiatives. My advice to retail leaders is keep it simple. Don't wait for a perfect strategy. You start small with some impactful use case, measure everything that you put out, measure the results, and you scale from there. Partner with people who understand both the tech and the retail business model. You need both to succeed.
Thank you, Balaji. Thank you for all your insights, and really looking forward to some questions from the audience and see if we can make this a little bit more interactive and answer what is on your mind. Veronica, do we have any questions from the audience?
See. So we do have one in here. So how do you justify capital investment in Gen AI technologies without hard ROI growth numbers or potential impact?
Shami, you want to take a shot or you want me to?
Go ahead, Balaji.
That is a very good question. It is hard, but I guess when you put the customer first, and if you know that certain parameters are going to change, and if you are very clear on that and you are willing to experiment, I think that's the way to position it. Don't ask for all the money that you need. If there is some investment that can be made, the test and create something where you can test and prove the case with your customers' feedback input, create analytics that tells you quickly whether it is successful or not, so you can pivot. But things are moving really fast in this space. You cannot wait for everything to be perfect. So you need to be willing to experiment quickly. So start with something, make it measurable, and then scale. Don't think that you have to create the best thing out there in the world from the get-go. Be willing to experiment. Shami, you have anything
And
else?
yeah, and just to add, right, we have seen that that starting small and then keeping it focused and moving it to production can be a very short cycle. It doesn't have to be months and months of spending time on the pilots itself. So if you time box it with one particular goal and take it from there, we have seen that it does produce results.
And the next question in here. So from your experience, what's the biggest barrier for retailers to move from pilot to production with Gen AI?
So one of the main barriers is aligning technology with business outcomes. I always tell people I'm a technologist with business at heart, right? Technology runs in my blood, so both needs to be tied. Aligning technology with business outcomes is extremely important. Many pilot projects focus on proving the tech works, but they don't always tie it to a measurable business KPI. And again, when I say business, you can also use, there are use cases for associates as well in the store to use AI and make it productive, all of that. So it is always, when I say customer, it's your internal customer that can be your associates or the external customer that is buying your products, right? So without tying the what you build in tech to a measurable business KPI, you are not going to be able to prove anything. So without the connection, it's hard to secure the executive buy-in for scaling. Another challenge is integrating Gen AI into legacy systems. If the data is siloed, the AI's impact will be limited. So data as an asset is an important thing to focus on and make sure that they are all integrated and they are not siloed.
Completely agree, Balaji. I would like to also emphasize the importance of data, capturing data and governing data, as well as ensuring that that you're also not overdoing the data. And that's an important balance that we have to achieve. Collect whatever is minimally required for you to make the decisions. I have seen in some of the cases that that people overdo data part of it. They collect every little piece, every transaction on a microsecond basis, and there is so much of overflow of data that sometimes it becomes difficult to manage that data. So getting very strategic about what data to collect and what time can be an important differentiator.
Agreed.
Thank you. So next one here. What are the common pitfalls retailers face when implementing GenAI for the first time?
What are the common pitfalls? Okay. One of the common problems is a lack of clear strategy. And being in pilot mode for months together, I think Shami mentioned this before, cannot be in pilot mode forever because things are rapidly changing. By the time we go to bed and wake up the next day, things have already evolved in the Gen AI space. That's how rapid things change here. So the other area is to focus on the understanding of data and its governance. Of course, you want to be doing responsible AI as well. Whenever you're thinking about an enterprise grade AI solution, you want to be making sure that you don't compromise on any of your data, right? So it's extremely important for that to be kept in perspective as well.
Thank you. All right, and then how can small and mid-sized retailers compete with larger players who have more AI resources?
I can that
Yeah,
one.
go for it. Go for it, Shami.
So, just in working with our customers, some of our customers in that space, what we have seen is that the key differentiator for SMBs would be to understand some niche problem statements. Uh, mm, if I have to give an example, like a chatbot would not be something that an SMB would pick up. Now we are talking. I'm assuming that we are talking for an SMB who is looking to sell this as a product. But if you're talking about SMB to consume AI, then it would be a slightly different answer. So I'll start with someone who is looking to produce some tools and other things for in the AI market, and that would be to figure out and understand what some niche problems are for in the industry and keep optimizing the pricing of it for those tools to be more competitive. There has been a surplus of AI-based tools that are in the market. Everybody wants to be in this race to adopt and offer. So that, in my mind, would be the key. In terms of the SMBs who want to adopt the technology, it would be a slightly different thing. So, like we've been talking, start with a strategic mindset, understand what data you have and how you can use it to solve some internal problems, and then see how the adoption to that comes around. Balaji, would you like to add something to that?
Nope, you said it right. Said it all.
The next one in here, how do you measure ROI for Gen AI initiatives when some benefits are qualitative, like customer experience?
Should I take that or
Yeah,
Shami?
go ahead, Balaji. Yes, you.
To me, the general techniques that we use, whether it's Gen AI or not, is always the Net Promoter Score and the Customer Satisfaction Score, the CSAT and the NPS. It helps you collect important data from end customers, and being maniacally monitoring and analyzing that is actually going to give you a good holistic picture. So you can use those, and like I always emphasize, if you cannot measure what you build, then you're going to be blindsided. And so always use general techniques to measure, key ones being the customer satisfaction.
Yeah, and just to add to that, we have actually seen the results of those surveys come through from some of our customers as part of. Some people use it initially also in the A/B testing phase, just to add the standard techniques, and then do the actual ROIs as part of their NPS surveys.
Yep. And even if it is limited, don't ignore the measurement.
That's the key. That's right.
Yeah.
So how do you see the role of GenAI evolving in retail over the next 2 to 3 years?
Balaji, this is for you.
I wish I had a crystal ball, but honestly, the way I see it is with all the agentic AI coming in, one of the, maybe it's just my imagination, I feel like we're going to have, like App Store, many agentic AI solutions available, probably, in some sort of a marketplace model. So that's one thing. And I think, today, many of us are seeing point solutions because everybody is learning. We have recommendation engines, the chatbots, something that helps you do code generation, all of that. I think looking maybe in the 2 to 3 years or even sooner than that, given the speed at which AI is moving, we'll see more integrated AI ecosystems where GenAI works across the value chain, from the product design to forecasting to store operations, and retailers will move from experimenting to embedding AI into their core process. It'll become a mindset. It is not just a metric or something that you put out as a PR for people to think that you're cool, but I just think it'll become a way of life, if not already.
Yeah, really well said about it being a mindset, Balaji. I think that's where we are moving. It has to be adopted and thought on a day-to-day basis. It's not going to be something which is sitting on the outside. It's going to be integral part of our lives.
Mhm.
Thank you. Next one in here. So how do you handle customer data privacy concerns when using GenAI for personalization?
Well, first and foremost, I think working with your privacy teams and your legal that you have in your companies that you work for, you want to come up with a real good policy to begin with that you can use to govern, and be very, very thoughtful about that, because the last thing you want is something about your company's IP or secret is leaking out, right? So you do want to come up with the policy and then ensure that you have a clear way for governance to maintain the compliance. That's the way I see it. Shami, anything else to add?
Yeah, I would say that something that we talked about earlier, like minimization of data. Let's We have to become a little bit more cognizant of what data we are collecting and what we are using. Sometimes it becomes like a flurry of everything is needed, and there is no proper, as long as it's a non-PI data, PII data, we think it's okay to consume it and use it. And that strategy and that mindset on what is needed for what purpose is going to be an important differentiator as well.
What's an example of a quick win GenAI initiative that retail leaders can implement to build internal momentum?
Well, I think the one quick win is the AI powered content generation that is readily available. There's many products for e-commerce, product descriptions, the embellishments that we want to do for any digital catalog, marketing copy, images. It is measurable. You have a faster time to market, higher SEO performance, and it's relatively low risk. So I think that's one area. I know Shami mentioned when we were speaking about SMB, about chatbot and all of that, but clearly we see chatbot also. I'm not saying it's easy, but it helps with the voice of the customer being understood well, interpreted, analyzed, and you can react quickly to what the pulse of the customer is, and adapt your business as well. So those are some areas I can think of as quick wins, where you will see the the customer service triage, and it helps improves the response times. Agent productivity is also seen immediately. So I think these are a couple of areas that I think are quick wins.
Thank you. Next one in here. What kind of talent or skills do companies need in-house to make GenAI projects successful?
That's a great
Yeah.
question, right? Balaji, we've been looking through this for a while now. I can take a stab in it, and please feel free to add.
Please.
What we have seen is that the skills that are needed, especially for this kind of innovation, moving at the AI innovation, moving at the space, is both technical and strategic mindset. It's important to not just go down a technical path on this, but also understand what we are trying to solve and what is the purpose. But keep your engineer at heart in place and keep tinkering, right? It's not going to be you're not going to hit with what you want to solve on day one. So it's important to have that little bit of a research mindset as well in understanding what you want to solve and how you want to solve it. There are a lot of resources available. Data, as we have spoken in the past, uh, is at the heart of this. Some technical skills that are needed are around data, ML, from the technology and programming perspective. Python jumps out. And then there are the various modeling on front as well, and then prompt engineering. That's the differentiator in learning how you can really come up with the right prompts to get the right answer. So those are some of the things that I can think of. Balaji, you want to add something to that?
I would just want to say that, yeah, become the engineer really. On my ride here to the office this morning, I was talking to someone. He or I have not coded for quite a while, and I think to your point earlier, Shami, I think it has become easier. Whether it is using Lovable or other tools that are available, it's easy for us to start doing this no code or vibe code and things like that. That is prevalent today. So I guess we all have to get a bit more hands-on, try it out, and it's easy. But there is plenty of options, tooling available. I think we should do that. So, in addition to like how you said, the attitude, the creative thinking, and the strategic mindset, I think again the emphasis needs to be around governance, the ethical awareness, responsible AI. Like I said earlier, security is also key to building end-to-end solutions. So think all around those areas, in addition to being a bit more bold and experimental in nature.
That's right.
Okay, so we're just going to take one more question here. So acknowledging that not starting is probably more costly than getting started, is there a baseline cost to get started? Example, number of engineers, infrastructure costs, AI enterprise licenses, etc.
Shami, I will leave this question to you. I don't know if you can start with any, defined budget or anything at this point. It depends on the problem itself that you're trying to solve. But Shami.
Yeah, so what we have been doing is kind of creating these mini pods, if I may use that term, of identifying the problem. There are a lot of free resources and open sources that are already available for you to get started. But identifying the problem that you want to solve and then getting into an experimentation mode with a mini pod of about 4 to 5 engineers with various skill sets around some of which we mentioned earlier. does help to at least get you off the ground. Now, for it to scale, you will have to, I guess, make some decisions around the actual problem that you're trying to solve, as well as where you want to take, how you want to install, whether you already have a model in place, and how you want to scale would be a different conversation in terms of what it takes to scale. But to start with, I would say it is a really low cost. And another exciting part is that the entire, I would say, engineering, at least what we have seen is all the engineers are super excited to get their hands dirty. They want to learn, they want to do this. So you have this a very self-motivated set of people who want to try things. So I would say don't hold back. Get a few people in a pod, get started, and throw a problem to them, and you'll be really surprised with the results that come out.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you, Shami and Balaji, for sharing your insights with us today. So I think we'll start wrapping this up. We'll be sharing a recording of this with everybody at a later time. So, thank you again for joining, everybody.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, Balaji.
thanks everyone. It has been fun doing this. So, if there are we taking more questions, Veronica, later offline if people are shy to ask or something? But
Yeah,
maybe we
of
can.
course.
Yeah, we can always respond to folks that have any questions offline. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
NISM, building success together.